Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Comic Book Selection, where I, your host, Brooke and Pete, bring you comic books from my personal collection dating back to 30 plus years. So if you like old comic books and if you're interested in acquiring any of the comic books that you may see up here on the show, you might want to stick around. Okay, so let's get started. So you can see behind me, it's a preview of what we're going to talk about. I know last show I brought up another comic book of Cloak and Dagger. Okay, this is not going to be a Cloak and Dagger channel. It just happens that I went into my vault, right? And I looked around and I picked this out. Then I noticed something very special about it. And I was like, I got to bring it up. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. I'm going to show you something very special about this one right here. And wow, if you guys are like really into comic books, I think you're gonna love this. But first, if you like what you see, smash the subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified of uploaded new content. So this right here is the first issue of Cloak and Dagger. Number one is actually what do you call it? Volume 2. So it's volume 2 of this series. And yeah, something very special about this comic book, this first one. I have 7 to show you, so we're going to go through them. Again, I like to feature them and show you the condition they're in. And they've come a long way. Comic books have really come a long way. I went into a comic book store actually yesterday. I went to the mall, and there's this place. It's fairly new, and they have a lot of pop figures and comic books and manga and what have you say, all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. And I went to the comic book section, and I saw Marvel comic books, and I should have taken pictures of one, or maybe even bought one. But wow, super different. The way they make them now. It's like you could tell that they will last much longer. I think they would be much easier to take care of. The paper, it's like a gloss, like not just like the ones on these comic books, but I'll show you real quick. So this is Cloak and Dagger, the first one. Like I said, this is the first issue, 1985. So again, I was looking through my in my vault to pick up different comics. Again, it's not just Marvel. I have DC and other maybe unknown brands that I have. So, but I go in there and I pull something out. And I was going to put this one back, but I noticed something special about this one, which I don't even know. How the heck? I don't remember. Anyway, you see right here. Let me put another picture up so you can see it closer. So this specific comic book was signed for me. And I believe this is while I was still working at Marvel. And if you can't read it, it says for Peter, which is me. And it says there, Carl Potts. Now, at first, I'm like, Carl Potts, like, I don't know. I really don't know who Carl Potts has been over 30 years, guys, since I've collected. And I said, it's got to be something about the comic book. So I start reading over here, and I see the bill, the penciler, the writer, the inker, and then right there, the editor. Where am I at? Here we go. The editor, Carl Potts. I was like, holy shit. Carl Potts signed this comic book for me. So I'm thinking that during the time that I was there, either he was working there. So either he probably came downstairs to the mail room, and we were, I don't know, probably they came and said, hey, this is Carl Potts, editor here at Marvel. Now, Carl Potts, let me show you who he is. He came into Marvel in 1985, which is the time that I was working at Marvel. He came in 1985. He started his career with the comics back in 1975. He came to Marvel in 1985. He worked at Marvel like for 13 years, and then he moved on to, I guess, better things for him. He became creative director at VR1, which is a massive multimedia, multiplayer online game company. And then from that, he moved on to something else. But yeah, that's who Carl Potts is. And I'm guessing, I don't remember, I'm thinking I probably did meet this man that came down to the mailroom when he probably started with Marvel, which is friggin' cool. Like, I can't believe that I like blocked that out. And then the fact that he signed my comic book, that shit is awesome. So I don't know if I want to get rid of this one right now. I don't know if I'd like to do that. But, you know, I mean, money talks, right? But wow, I think I'm going to have to put this one all by itself. So then let's show you a little bit more about it. So again, the condition, I mean, all the pages are there, the condition. As usual, I guess, it's a little bit tanned. The pages are a bit tanned. But there are no other markings in the comic book, nothing written. Like I say, always like I always say, I read them once, put them away. I'm wrong with this comic book. The second one that I want to show you guys is did I mention that I don't remember if I posted it, but this is the first comic that he created. Carl Potts created Alien Legion. I believe once he came into Marvel, as he was leaving, he worked for Epic, and then he became kind of big for Epic Comics. But he created this comic book, Alien Legion, and feel free to look for it at your comic book store, your vintage comic book store. I'd be great if I look through my vault and find that I have this one. I don't know. It's been so long, but you never know. Maybe I have it. So here's a condition of this one. Again, nothing wrong except the coloring, maybe. The second one that I have, which is again, there's 11 of them in the whole series. I have 7 of them. I might even have 11. Not sure. I might actually have 11. I just happened to find this pack. The second one right here is number 2. A Cloak Dagger. Put this aside. And this is the second one right here. I'll have to show you guys. From Out of the Void. And again, volume 2. This is this issue is from September of 1985. So I just look at this, and when I went to that store of comic books and I saw the comic books, like all this here, it's like all glossy. Everything seems to be so glossy. Like it doesn't seem like, like the printing, everything has changed throughout the years. Over 30 years, they've made it so different. I have to get one of those comic books to show you guys. A lot of you probably are more into the newer ones now, but it was just amazing when I saw the comic books. I said, wow, they've really come a long way on how they make these comic books. So okay, so the second one I have to show you guys in the series is the third one. Okay, third one. No. So exciting. I'm so excited to see that I had that comic book signed. I'm like, ooh, Carl Potts. That's really cool. Here's the third one, Cloak and Dagger of that series. It's like going back into time when you look at the comic books that are made now, how they're made now. Even the whole front and the style, ink, everything is so different. Hey, Spidey. Spidey's in here, looks like. Yeah. Spidey makes an appearance in here. And this Cloak and Dagger. Oh, he's right on the cover. I didn't even notice that. Let's go to the fourth one. The fourth Cloak and Dagger that I have for you guys. It's this one right here. And this one is another special issue. I think you have. I have to move the camera a little bit to show you the top corner. Bring it in. And down right there. So, those of you who've remember Secret Wars, the comic book Secret Wars, from this one, Secret Wars Part 2, continues in this one issue. I thought it was something that I should have mentioned for you comic book fans. And again, let's look at the condition. This one, as you could tell in this one, the pages are much wider, which they've been staying out of. I guess air didn't really get into this one that much. I guess the ones that are on the top are the ones that are more messed up. I don't know. Oh, the color is a little less vivid. This one is quite white. Cloak and Dagger number 4, where Secret Wars 2 continues in this issue. And let's move on to the 5th one in my collection with this series, Cloak and Dagger. This is another special one. In this one, we have Mayhem. No, not the Mayhem from that insurance company, but Mayhem. I gotta keep playing around with this camera and make it right there. So this is where he gets introduced. This is the first time that we see Mayhem. I don't know how much longer if there's any comic books of Mayhem by himself. Feel free to comment below if you know, if you have one. It'd be cool to know. But this is where he first appeared, and I have no idea who Mayhem is. I couldn't even tell you. But obviously this is where he makes his appearance, and I think that, and whenever comic books were made and a new character appears in the comic book, I think that brought up the value of the comic book, especially if that character later on had his own series. Just how I feel about it. So that's the 5th one in this selection of comic books that I have today. And we move on to the 6th one. This is the 6th one right here. Move on to the 6th. We got just one more to show you guys after this. And this one, another special one. This was Marvel celebrated Marvel's 25th anniversary. Right there. Marvel's 25th anniversary. So Cloak and Dagger continuing the series. Volume 2. This is May 1986. Moving up. You can check right there. Carl Potts, editor. I'm excited just to know that I had that. I have some other comic books that I had signed. The latest, which was a couple years ago, I went to a Comic-Con here in New York, and I picked out a few comic books, so I'll get to them soon enough. And they're not Marvel. Check this out. Look at that. Super Marvel, Super Mart comic book conventions back in the day. And San Francisco. It was one in Manhattan. Wow. Back in the day. So So that's the sixth one, folks. Let's move on to the last comic book on my selection here. And this one seems to be in the best condition of all of them. It's Cloak Dagger number 7. The pages on this one, I'm pretty amazed at. Like, it's white. You might not look at it too well in your screen, but it's white. It's like brand new, completely brand new. This comic book, I think. It still has that comic book smell too. Although those of you that are into comic books, the ones from now, I don't think they have that smell because they have this different ink and the paper is like very glossy, which, like I said before, it seems like it helps it to keep its look, its condition. Look at this over here, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, which I believe I have those two in my vault. I can't wait to bring them all out and show you guys. So yeah, there's Cloak, and as always, man, it's really like going back into time with these comic books. But I love it. Let me put back on. Again, these are all the 7 of my collection that I have. I believe there are 11 altogether. 11 altogether. And I used to really, I was so big into collecting comics. I don't know what happened, but I had so much fun making my reading my comic books, and like go every week when they would come in and just go in there and just pick out a comic. 65 cents. It's like, of course, it was so easy to collect, and now some of them you can't even find. Some of them $1,000, $100. Beautiful. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the comic book selection. And of course, I want to remind you guys, if you want to hit me up with any information, or you want to inquire of the ones that I have here, or maybe you want to ask me if I have a certain book in my collection, just remember right here, hit me up at the comicbookselection@gmail.com, and we can talk. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll have it with me, ding ding, to help me grow my channel. And it's been fun. I'm loving it. And yeah, I got to get myself a green screen, so you have to please excuse the phantasm look, the like what do you call it, this whole look here. Just, I got to give myself a green screen to make this look a little better. All right, guys, so thanks again for joining me. Thanks again for watching. Share and subscribe, and that way you let me know that what I'm doing here is something that I should keep on doing. Share, and I will see you all in the next one. I will definitely try to get something that's not Marvel next time. So you guys don't think that I'm only Marvel, even though I did work at Marvel one time. But DC. Hey, my favorite character of all time in comic books is Batman. Yeah, it's Batman. That's mine. What's yours? Comment below with your favorite superhero or villain from the comics. And I will see you all on the next show. And as always, I get stuck here looking on how to close up because I'm not editing anything. I'm just going right through and I'm doing my show. So kind of old school, right? Kind of old school without all these hype gimmicks and switches and visuals. I'm old school, guys, so I'm doing this thing all old school. Little camera and coming on and doing my thing, and I hope you guys love it. And I spoke enough, so catch you all in the next one, comic book selection. Peace.